Drama unfolds in the MMA world. Khamzat Chimaev is facing serious backlash for his disrespectful comments towards a woman, and tensions are rising as Arman vows to out-wrestle Topuria in their upcoming clash. With Tom Aspinall's title defense against Cyril Gane on the horizon, will these controversies overshadow the fights? Hit the subscribe button and stay tuned to find out. When Alexander Volkov and Jailton Almeida signed to throw down at UFC 321, every alternate path for interim-turned undisputed champion Tom Aspinall evaporated. Volkov Almeida is effectively a next-man-up eliminator, but it takes both men off the board until late October. John Jones, meanwhile, just announced he's targeting a triumphant return in mid-2026, which means the mythical Jones-Aspinall super fight is parked for at least another year. That leaves one obvious choice: Cyril Gane. Fan sentiment is split. Odds opened at roughly 4-1 in Aspinall's favor, and Uncle Shale insists that number proves nobody wants to see it. Yet stylistically, it's pure chef's kiss. Two huge men who move like middleweights, trading feints, footwork, and lightning kicks instead of plotting haymakers. And with no other credible dance partners standing free, Aspinall Gane is more than likely to headline before winter sets in. But heavyweight politics look tame compared with the meltdown brewing just one division down. One late-night Instagram notification popped up on Paulo Costa's phone, and within seconds, the UFC's middleweight, heavyweight, and lightweight storylines were tangled together. Khamzat Chimaev had slipped into Costa's wife's DMs, telling her to find a better man. The message was crude, but the fallout was colossal. It enraged Costa, rattled Chimaev's fanbase back in Chechnya, and indirectly shoved several championship dominoes into motion. The next 6 months of MMA may trace back to that single swipe. Paulo Costa has never been shy, but the Brazilian detonated at UFC 318 Media Day when he showed reporters a thread of messages from Khamzat Chimaev, messages directed not at him, but at his wife. Lines like "get a real man" and "he can't keep you happy" crossed every cultural and professional boundary Costa recognizes. He called Chimaev a coward, vowed to hurt him badly, and promised that if he demolished Roman Kopylov on fight night, he would use his mic time to demand boars in the cage next.
I want to fight him very badly. I want to hurt him. Doesn't matter if he won that fight or not. Doesn't matter. We need to fight. He talked very bad things about me on my girl Instagram DM. So this is totally personal. I feel angry just to hear his name. So we need to fight. We are young. We're gonna be online. So I'm gonna do my best Saturday. If God give me the victory, because He knows and He control everything. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get the victory and I'm gonna call His name. Doesn't matter if He win or not. You know, this fight just will not happen if He retire.
What kind of things was he messaging her?
Huh?
You said he was sending messages in her DMs.
Do you remember? Yeah, dirty things, you know, like, man, you man is, huh? Yeah, you should look for better man, something like that, you know. Thank you. Bad things, dirt things, you know. It is not a kind of a real man, confident man, or to do, you know. Why he messaged her? Why he didn't message me instead of her, you know? Coward. He's a coward.
Adding fuel, the story snowballed across social media. Screenshots splashed onto MMA Junkies' reels, Reddit threads, and late-night talk streams. Chimaev's camp offered no denial, only silence, leaving fans to fill the vacuum with outrage. In the Caucasus, where family honor is sacrosanct, sliding into a rival's partner's DMs is unforgivable. Even some Chechen bloggers sided with Costa, calling the stunt dishonor that stains the wolf. Costa's response: bring back prime Borachinya. Hands low, chin high, marching forward to swing and bang. He swore that after smashing Kopylov, he'd stand atop the cage and scream Chimaev's name. Whether the UFC obliges is another matter, but public appetite is ravenous, and personal vendettas sell tickets faster than official rankings ever could. Chimaev isn't new to controversy, but this time the backlash pierced his home base. Chechen influencers who once hailed him as a national hero posted blunt rebukes. A warrior protects women, he does not insult them. The critique stings deeper in a culture where masculine pride and familial respect intertwine. Sponsors are reportedly monitoring sentiment, and one regional gym canceled a youth seminar Chimaev was set to headline next month. The practical effect? Pressure. If Costa wins and calls him out publicly, Chimaev may be forced to pivot from his penciled-in title shot and settle the score, or risk wearing the scarlet letter of dishonor in front of the very fan base that built his mystique. Meanwhile, at lightweight, Arman Tsarukyan watched Ilia Topuria's thunderous knockout of Charles Oliveira and shrugged. He gasses when you clinch hard, Arman told ESPN. Islam and I would hold him down like a child. He laid out a three-point dismantling plan: suffocate early with cage pressure, drag Topuria into wrestling exchanges to burn his fast-twitch legs, then drown him on the mat. Tsarukyan even mocked El Matador's celebrated boxing. Clean punches don't matter when your shoulders are begging for oxygen. Yet UFC brass remains frosty toward Arman after his abrupt withdrawal from a scheduled main event with Islam Makhachev last year. President Dana White hasn't forgotten the pay-per-view shuffle that followed. Tsarukyan therefore sits in purgatory, good enough to threaten the belt, inconvenient enough to sideline. His strategy? Keep talking, keep winning, and make Topuria's reign feel incomplete until their paths cross. Across 3 weight classes, the schedule now feels like a live minefield. In heavyweight, all signs point to Tom Aspinall defending against Cyril Gane in late October, a matchup born of necessity once Volkov and Almeida tied each other up and John Jones punted his return to 2026. Middleweight hinges on Paulo Costa's next outing. If he smashes Roman Kopylov with the vintage Borrachinha fury he's promised and calls out Khamzat Chimaev on the microphone, the UFC will face enormous pressure, both cultural and commercial, to book that grudge match immediately. Lightweight is the most congested of all. Ilia Topuria wants mega fight glamour. Arman Tsarukyan is campaigning with technical trash talk, one upset in any of these bouts. Gane out-slicking Aspinall, Kopylov derailing Costa, would force the UFC matchmakers back to square one, rewriting pay-per-view lineups from Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi. If everything holds together, autumn 2025 should deliver Aspinall Gane as the headline attraction of UFC 324 in London, a stylistic showcase the promotion can sell on technical intrigue alone. A Costa statement win could then roll directly into a December card in Riyadh, where Saudi partners would relish the regional pull of a Chimaev showdown soaked in real-life animosity. Early 2026 would see Topuria's first defense materialize, and the shortlist is already juicy. Paddy Pimblett offers spectacle, Tsarukyan offers sport, and a still-roaring Poirier offers the best of both worlds, legacy and pay-per-view numbers. Yet the entire timeline sits on a hair trigger. A single injury, visa snag, or shock knockout can detonate the bracket and scatter contenders into fresh pairings. That volatility is why fans keep refreshing their feeds. Because in MMA, even the most carefully stacked calendar is just one punch or one reckless DM away from collapse. A cocky DM meant to needle a rival's ego has ricocheted through the UFC food chain. It locked Tom Aspinall into a striker's chess match with Cyril Gane, reignited Paulo Costa's career with combustible personal stakes, and poured gasoline on Arman Tsarukyan's verbal assault against Ilia Topuria, while dangling a golden escape hatch in front of a retiring Dustin Poirier. So which powder keg explodes first? Does Aspinall's footwork outclass Gane? Does Costa unleash vintage chaos and drag Chimaev into an honor fight? Or will Topuria's next challenger be the relentless wrestler no one wants, or the Louisiana legend who just can't quit? Stay tuned, because every round, every tweet, and every direct message could redraw the landscape all over again. If you don't want to miss the next domino drop, make sure to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. Fight news hits fast, and here we chase it faster. That wraps today's Fight Bulletin. Strike Script bringing you the fastest hands in MMA news. If these headlines kept you ahead of the scorecards, tap like and let the algorithm know we won the round. Subscribe and hit the breaking bell so you're first to hear every contract signing, weigh-in drama, and surprise call-out. Got an inside scoop or bold prediction? Drop it in the comments. You might see your tip featured in tomorrow's update for real-time flashes from pressers and gyms. Until the next alert, stay sharp, stay informed, and keep your guard up. This is Strike Script signing off.